What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of End of the Tunnel podcast. As always, I'm your host, Derek Causer. So, a couple weeks ago, I put out something on Instagram for anybody that was following me to throw in some suggestions of what they wanted me to speak on. And one of the suggestions that I got that I really loved was asking in terms of speaking to demons attacking our insecurities. And, being someone that deals with a lot of anxiety, insecurities are something that I've dealt a lot with throughout my life. I've always been pretty low confidence, had low self-confidence, and obviously, that kind of drives some insecurity. So, I thought I'd start out here, and the exact definition of insecurity is uncertainty or anxiety about oneself. Being lack of confidence in yourself. And as I mentioned, I've dealt with anxiety for quite a while, and I've always dealt with having low self-confidence. Now, I want to preface what I'm going to say throughout this video by saying that as much as the way that it sounds when I speak about it might sound easy, all the stuff that I talk about is not going to be easy. It's difficult diving into things that make you uncomfortable to better yourself. But I truly believe that to become your best version, you have to dive headfirst into it, whatever it is. In this case, insecurities. And, insecurities are tough. Even for people that don't regularly deal with anxiety or don't regularly deal with lacking confidence for themselves, that insecurity can still get into them. And in a lot of cases, it drives people to completely avoid the things that, either they wanted to do or that they should do, things that could help their life. It's a lot like fear. That's the way that I really look at insecurities. It's that fear of diving into whatever is making you insecure. And see, the thing with fear is, the really tough thing about fear is that the more you allow it to have strength over you, and the more that you give into it, the stronger it's going to grow. The more that, an example being, the longer that I go between, making videos, the harder it is for me to make these videos. Once I get into it, it gets really easy, but, when there's that time in between, it gets really difficult. And with that, because, that insecurity comes from fear, and it really comes from, just not being comfortable with certain things, you really have two options. The first option is, as I mentioned, you can just let it take over. You can, become just an insecure mess, for lack of better words, and really just, let it take control of your life and force you into an average life. And that is an option. I'm sure there's people that go down that route, and, if they're happy with that, alright. But that's never been something that I was going to be happy with. The other option we have, and this is where I mentioned that, it'll sound easier when I speak about it, but it's really not easy at all. But the other option we have is diving headfirst into it. Going headfirst at our insecurities, diving headfirst at our fears. Now, one thing that we can do on the other side of things that can help to really slow down insecurity is educating yourself more on that topic. For example, I always used to be insecure about just when I was working out at the gym, my form, all that kind of stuff. I was super insecure about it because at the time, really, when I got started in the gym, I had only learned from Google and YouTube. That was it. So I was insecure with everything for a while. Now I'm not. After I took my personal training course and I really had the knowledge of everything, that insecurity seemed to go away. Because I understood everything. Not everything, but you get what I mean. That education and understanding things can really help to drive away that fear that insecurity can bring. But as I mentioned, at the end of the day, the only really real way that I've found to work through the insecurities and to fight through your insecurities is to just dive headfirst into it. You know, when I started filming myself and when I started taking videos, and still to this day I still do have some insecurity with it. And at that point, it was brutal. Honestly, if you look at my old phone and you look at the first couple times that I started filming videos, you can just scroll through because there's just videos upon videos on videos of me trying to just get one video perfect because I was uncomfortable with it at that point. Because I felt like what I was saying was going to sound stupid to other people. Because for some reason I gave a shit what they thought. Then I continued doing it. And I kept doing it. And eventually it got more comfortable. Eventually I learned to stop with the thoughts of insecurities that is in my head. The thoughts of that come into my head oh, holy shit. Oh, if I could speak. The thoughts of that were coming into my mind telling me that nobody gave a shit about what I was going to say. That everything I was going to say on camera was wrong. That I was going to sound stupid. That I was going to do this, that the blah, and everything. And the insecurity started to go away. I fought through that fear. And as you go into fear and as you fight through your fear, what you'll find is it loses power over you. The other upside with it that I found is that a big part of your insecurity is, a bigger part of insecurity as well that I believe is having anxiety or feeling like other people are going to judge you a certain way. And, you know, that's one thing that really, at least for myself, drives some of my insecurities is in the past has been, well, what's this person going to think? What are they going to think when they see this? And then I started attacking my fear. And I realized something. That they don't fucking matter. Those people that, in the beginning, when I was scared, the people whose didn't know how they were going to react or what they would think of it, that gave me that insecurity, they don't fucking matter. At the end of the day, those people aren't in my shoes. Those people don't know what I know. And they live a different life than what I live. So why does their opinion on my life matter? It doesn't. And now, once you realize that, and once you really feel comfortable in those thoughts. It doesn't get rid of all the insecurity, but it definitely does help you to have a bit less insecurity and to have more confidence in what you're doing. Because look around at society nowadays. There's so many people that are just putting on an act. Look at Instagram. You know, Gary Vee talks about it all the time. There are people that are buying things just to impress these other people for no real reason. There are people trying to prove that they can do certain things or that they are certain things, not for themselves and not for their life or anybody that they like, but for the sole purpose of impressing these people who are judging them or are in their past life. At the end of the day, if people are willing to judge you solely on that kind of stuff, what you own, all the materialistic things, if the people in your life are judging you off that, you need new people in your life. Just being honest. You know, because those people are the same ones that, if you're not succeeding constantly or moving forward constantly, and I say that with caution just because, you know, we always do, as I do want to be constantly succeeding and moving forward. However, there are times that, you know, you gotta take, I posted on Instagram today, but you gotta take a step back to take a step forward. That happens. Shit happens. It's life. Look at 2020. Look at how many people had to follow on some part-time jobs because they couldn't work their career, what they've chosen to go into, simply because that was deemed non-essential. And there's people that would judge them for, you know, going away and trying to work for themselves. And that's what I'm saying. Their opinion doesn't matter. The only opinion you should care about for yourself is your own opinion of yourself. Insecurity's a bitch. Straight up. You know, insecurity, like fear, is always going to be there. And I don't know how to explain or teach people how to get rid of it completely, because I haven't been able to do that for myself. But what I do know is that once you begin to realize this stuff, once you begin to love yourself and focus on what you think about yourself and what you're doing and what your interior motives are, rather than thinking about what other people are going to think about it, it's going to be a lot easier to fight through those insecurities. It's going to be easier to go head first into fear. Because that's one thing that really drove me as I started taking the videos, as uncomfortable as I was starting this YouTube channel, as uncomfortable as I was posting videos on my Instagram, on my Facebook, all of this stuff. I knew what I wanted to do with it. I had realized what I wanted out of my life, and that I wanted to leave him some meaning behind. And because I knew that, and I knew what my interior motives were, I didn't give a shit what anybody else said. And I'm sure there's been negative comments about, you know, the stuff that I'm posting, that kind of stuff. I'm sure, but I don't hear them. There's certain people that are close to me in my life that I know care about me, and if they were to say something negative or bring up a certain constructive criticism, 100% I'm listening to them, and, you know, maybe it helps me. But I also know that there's random people that, you know, follow me on Instagram, on Facebook, and just see me in life, and are just so unhappy with their own life that they look at me and want to judge just for the shits and giggles of it. I know there's people that are going to try to shine their negativity on anything positive just because they hate the message. And that's fine. Like I said, I don't hear it. I don't give a fuck about it. I also know that some people like what I've put out. I've gotten some positive comments back. And that's something that has just driven me to keep going forward. You know, just taking what I can out of those positive messages, you know, finding what they're really liking about it, thanking them, and moving on. Because I don't want to get too caught up in you know, what other people are thinking about me, whether it's positive or negative. Because at the end of the day, I'm the only one on earth here that really matters to me in judging me. The only other one that I actually care about opinion and judging me, God. Call it cheesy if you want. It might sound like it. But I truly believe that that's how you're able to live your best life. Because at that point, when you're focused on what you want for yourself and what you think about yourself, and you're focused on what God thinks about yourself, you're going to live in your faith, and you're going to live the life exactly how you want it. Not how someone else told you should do it. Not doing jobs because someone else told you that you should do it. Not going to school because someone else told you should do it. Not buying certain things because someone said that you should do it. Fuck, if someone's telling me that I should... I've had people make comments about some of the stuff I own. I don't have the best vehicle right now. Okay. Saving money. If someone wants to buy me another vehicle, fine, I'll take your criticism. But at the end of the day, you're not paying for my shit. You're not in my shoes. Your opinion of my life and what I'm doing doesn't matter. Because it's my fucking life. I hope that there was some good value out of this, that this was helpful for somebody. Kind of got off on some tangents there, but yeah, like I said, hope that this is helpful for somebody. I hope you guys enjoyed the video today. And really, more than anything, take time to fight through some of your fear and your insecurities. Even if it's just little things at the start. Even if it's just that you're scared of, you know, showing your face on social media. And you put a selfie on Instagram. Because years ago, that was me. Years ago, I started putting a bunch of selfies on Instagram. Because I wasn't confident in who I was, with how I looked, or any of that stuff. So I went directly at that fear. And now I'm sitting here making a YouTube video right now, talking to myself. And having some people watch it, listen to what I'm saying. We all gotta start somewhere. And like I said, your insecurities are always going to be there. But you just gotta fight through those. Grow your education in the areas that matter. And over time, those demons that had so much power over you in those insecurities that could say, you know, why are you going to do this? Think about this. They're going to be disappearing. They'll go away. Not all the time, but they'll be far less than what they are. Hope you guys all have an awesome rest of your day, and thank you for listening to this episode of End of the Tunnel podcast. Catch you next time.
I'm a big dog, I pull up on the block in a big Corvette, ride around the city with a stick all black, try with a stroke of weed with all that,
Music licensing reimagined.
Made $1 million and I can't go back. Got a lot of jewelry on me, man, you can't hold that. 12 ask him better, tell him that I ain't so crack. Know your money long when your people can't afford that. I'm ballin', yeah. My mama told me that I did my calling. I keep that stick, I don't do no brawling. Open out the doors and let them all in here. Yeah, they all in here. Ooh, big dog.
Artlist.io.
Big dog. Heavy petty, got me break my wrist off. I'm young out of rock, you bout to live, dog. 3, 2, 1, I got big dog status, I'm a big dog, I pull up on the block in a big Corvette, ride around the city with a stick all black, try with a stroke of weed.
Music licensing reimagined.
Big dog status, I'm a big dog, I pull up on the block in a big Corvette, ride around the city with a stick all black, try with a stroke of weed with all that.
Artlist.io.
Running up the dollar signs, yeah. Ain't no hiding from them hollow cans. Bring up like the Taliban. That's my paper, don't you bother mine. Yeah, heavy paddock on me, break my wrist off. Lift off. I got big dog status.
Music licensing reimagined.
In a big Corvette, ride around the city with a stick all black. Try with a stroke of weed with all that. Big dog status, I'm a big dog, pull up on the block in a big Corvette, ride around the city with a stick all black. Try with a stroke of weed with all that.
Artlist.io.